A quick look at what, and you do what might happen for you, but it'll give you some ideas. If we had a 5.2 kW system for use wherever it was that you needed this out on the farm, your home, whatever it might be, it might look like this array on this house right here. Will produce, on average, about 588 kilowatt hours a month. On average. Now, certainly there's months it's going to produce a lot more, and months it's going to produce a lot less. This is an analysis of what the costs look like relative to the options. Now I'm colorblind. I devised this graph, but I'm still colorblind. I don't know what they are. So the upward sloping line here is a utility cost of power line. And this only assumes a 2.5% rate of increase in utility power. Last year, I believe Northwestern Energy's increase was 10%. If they are allowed the purchase of the dams the way they're asking, that will mean another 6.5% increase in rates as soon as that purchase is completed. And then if they have to upgrade things, well, surely they're going to come back to the PSC, that really nice, friendly PSC that they have right now, and say, well, we want to embed all of these costs of upgrading and fixing up the facilities in the rate base. And what that means is the ratepayers pay the costs of these purchases and these fixes. This has happened with a coal strip unit that is owned by Northwestern Energy, which was offline for 6 months last year. Was not producing any power at all. But it didn't affect Northwestern Energy's bottom line because the purchase of power to offset that loss of power production, they had to go out on the open market and buy this, was embedded in the rate base again. So you, as power purchasers of Northwestern Energy, are paying those costs. They have no risk, and yet they're a for-profit entity. So it's important to keep that in mind. And that upward sloping curve only represents a 2.5% annual rate of growth in power from the utility company. If you were to put up that 5.2 kW system, and if you didn't have any incentives at all, that's this line right here. You pay for it up front, but we can levelize it over the next 30 years, and your cost of power would be about 12 cents a kilowatt hour. Currently, Northwestern Energy is right about 10 cents a kilowatt hour. So you'd be a little higher, but at 2.5% rate of increase, in about 8 years, you would actually be better off than if you were with the utility. In the meantime, you've cleaned up the environment a little bit. Help clean it up. Now, if this is 5%, this graph shifts over here in the 2 to 3 year range. Now that's without any incentives at all. We just talked about the incentives. Once you apply the incentives, here's your levelized cost of power. And as you can see, the cost of energy starts out at a price less than what you can buy it for at Northwestern Energy. These are what's important when you're thinking about the finances of an energy system. I typically hear, all of us typically hear, what's the payoff? Well, let me ask you, what's the payoff on your utility bill? What's the payback period on your utility bill? There isn't any. It just goes on and on and on. This is a way to take control of your energy future. Guarantee your cost of power well into the future and not have to pay those increasing utility bills unless you cleaned up the environment. What a beautiful side effect there. It works financially as well as cleaning up the environment. We are at that point. It is affordable. It's very good.